Morning or good afternoon. This is John Estrata, Conservative America. Thank you and welcome to our program. We've got a very exciting opportunity here today to talk about issues. First of all, today is Flag Day. This is such a very, very important day, and we'll be talking a lot about things that we need to do dealing with the flag and what it means for America. We're a very difficult time in America today with so much hate and anger and violence and stuff going on. There's a shooting, congressman was shot, and I understand that he's in critical condition. Hopefully everything is well, he can recover from that. That's definitely going to be with him and his family for a long time and the country. A lot of people don't realize it, but you need to defend yourself from violence if it should ever happen into your doorstep and in your surroundings. Be prepared to defend yourself against a domestic terrorist or foreign terrorist. It really doesn't matter. The most important thing is you protect yourself and your family. Don't wait for somebody else to save you, because a lot of times, by the time they get there, it's over. The other important thing today is Donald Trump's birthday. And we've heard some things that are going on with potentially the Golden State Warriors not attending the White House ceremony congratulating them for their victory against the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's really important to know that the Golden State Warriors are a good basketball team, but for them to utilize political posturing to try to sway public opinion about America or the White House or what they believe, I think that's totally inappropriate. So if they do boycott the White House and the ceremony that I'm sure the president has offered all championship teams to come to the White House to congratulate them and to thank them for a great year. But if they should happen to not show up and boycott, then I think it's the duty of America to boycott the Golden State Warriors and put pressure on their sponsorships and advertising and just let them know that they're there to play basketball. They're not there to be anti-American. And it is, folks, it is anti-American to boycott the White House. That White House belongs to us. We have a president there that's doing his job from there, but ultimately it belongs to us. And if they boycott the White House, that means that they're anti-American. And pressure needs to be put on the NBA and the team, the Golden State Warriors, all of them, and let them know that they shouldn't be doing such bad behavior. It sets a bad role model for children too. To somehow think that it's okay to be against our president. He's our president. He's doing his job. He's keeping America safe. He's doing what he promised to do. But that's a very, very important issue, helping America be great again. And so I think with all the facts come out, I think people understand that he's doing it for the goodwill of America, and he's doing it. I give him an A+. I think Donald Trump is doing great work for America. For the past 8 years before that, our country was going downhill. And so this is just the stuff that's going on, what happened today with the violence and the anger and the hate and all that stuff. I think that's just an extension of the past 8 years. And somehow, as Americans, we got to come together and say, you know what, we got to stop that, because that's not good for anybody. This will be turning, a lot of people are already considering it a civil war. It's a civil war in words, but now actions are beginning to take place. You have violent confrontations between certain groups and other groups, and so there's going to be a lot of very violent acts if this continues. So we've got to get back on track, folks, and get America where it needs to be, and that's helping our citizens have a better life. So happy birthday, President Donald Trump. Thank you for your leadership. We look forward to working with you and to be able to get the message out for you and for your administration and for our country's benefit. And so we stay safe, and we help people go where they need to go, and that's to get a job, to be able to get a good life, and to be happy with their family and religion, church, all that good stuff. There is so much stuff going on. The other thing, dealing with Flag Day. For many years now, I've been fighting about the issue. Excuse me. About deported United States military veterans. And that issue, it surprises me that it's taken as long as it's taken. You would think that somebody in D.C., Homeland Security, the President, Congress, whoever, would recognize that we don't leave our veterans behind. We don't leave our veterans behind, and these gentlemen have served in the United States military. They've earned their right of citizenship. There's been technicalities where paperwork wasn't granted to them, but when anybody gets an honorable discharge, or my decision or my feelings is that some of them got maybe bad conduct discharges, or not very, or general discharges and stuff like that. Sometimes you got to look at all the facts before you look at a person's ability to stay in the United States. Now, they could all come back and be buried in America, but they have to be dead. So, it's nonsense. And I think the big problem right now is a lot of people cannot believe that the United States of America is deporting United States military veterans. That is very disgraceful, and it's been going on for a long time. But now you see movement on the Democratic side. You have members of Congress that just recently went down there and visited some of the deported veterans, and there's been a lot of visibility. But before that, there was very little movement. But now we're under a new administration, and now it seems like people are coming together, and hopefully, with your help, your support, we can be able to go out there and get all of them the status to come back to the United States, and to be able to get the benefits and services they're entitled to through the Department of Veterans Affairs. that makes the best sense. A lot of them, and the reason they all got deported is very simple. They committed a crime after they got out of the military. And so the agency that's responsible for deporting deports them on a technicality. You break the law, you're a criminal, you should be kicked out of America. That's really not a good way to do that, especially with veterans. I think there should be a veteran court to handle that, to find out exactly what really did go on there. You know, maybe they had tremendous pressure or stress or something that went on during their military time that caused them to get some mental issues or mental problems or whatever. And so we need to focus on finding a solution to them, but that's a long-term process. We need to do is we need to have the President, Congress, Homeland Security, all the government agencies, whoever is in charge of that portion or that decision needs to all come together and bring all these deported veterans back to the United States and quit deporting them. It's just not right. So I will not give up on this issue. I'll keep fighting this issue. I've had some good conversations with some of the deported veterans, and to me it seems so absurd on technicalities. You know, they sound American, they look American, they love America, and so my feeling is that if you want to be an American and you really are doing everything you can to be American, then I will fight for you. I will fight for your right to be an American. On the other hand, if you're anti-American and you're talking violence or you're talking hate or anger towards our institutions, whether it be the U.S. Constitution or the White House or monuments or history. See, if we start destroying our historical monuments and landmarks or removing them, remember, folks, you take away that, then guess what? It could repeat itself. If those were bad times in American history, we want to make sure people don't forget them. And we want to make sure that it does not happen again. And so we're going to work very hard to be against those folks that are anti-American. And this program, Conservative America, is a program dealing with issues that I believe are necessary to be talked about. So join us in our conversation. This is a conversation. We want to have a dual interactive relationship here, and so if you would like to, you can call in any time. We've got a temporary number, 559-803-0555, and you can call in now. And you have a question, you want to make a statement, you want to see what's going on with what we have to go on regarding Conservative America and our movement. And our movement is very clear. The movement is to make America great again. We want to make America great again because we cannot afford it to keep sliding further into dismay, into further problems. You know, back in 1994, I ran for Congress, and my opponent, he was a Democrat, his name was Calvin Doolin. And at that time, our deficit, not our deficit, our debt, total debt was $4 trillion. And at that time, I hammered at him, and I let him know that, no, it's wrong for us to keep spending all this money and not paying those bills. Those bills are very important to be paid, because what we're doing is we're allowing this debt to keep accumulating, which is causing future generations are going to have to pay for it. Or something happens where we need to help people or do something, we can't get it done because we owe so much money. It just makes common sense. So during that time, he finally did agree with me that it was wrong, and so today it's close to $20 trillion. So evidently that word did not get through to folks because they were talking about it. Only $4 trillion in debt. Can you imagine if we were only $4 trillion in debt today? That would be great, but it's not. We're 20 trillion, and supposedly it's going higher. With all the road work that needs to be done and future wars we might have to fight, it's just no end in sight. For the past 8 years, or for many administrations, Congress and the President have kept moving the line towards the future to deal with these very important issues. I truly believe that Donald Trump's trying to focus on solving these problems now and not waiting for another moment. And so, call in. You want to talk about this? You want to talk about the shooting that went on? You want to talk about deported veterans or Flag Day? Very important day. We have to recognize our symbol. You know, many years ago, I supported, and I still do support, the Sikh Citizen Flag Alliance. That's basically not allowing desecration of the American flag, you know. But certain judges believe that it's freedom of speech to burn a flag. I don't think that's cool. You know, it's hateful. It's just like somebody, politician or a celebrity or whatever, making models that they want to kill somebody or assassinate them or chop their head off. You know anybody like that? That's not a good thing. You know, it incites violence, it incites hate. It just creates more problems. Why would anybody do stuff like that? The American flag was put on a symbol, especially for me. I'm a United States military veteran, and I don't think it's cool, because there's a lot of my family, a lot of my friends, a lot of generations before me that were in the United States military, and they gave a lot. They gave a lot to make America great and to work at helping America great. And for them to see the White House disrespected, or the United States flag disrespected, or our historical monuments disrespected, it's just not cool. So. But anyway, on a lighter side, or another situation that took place a few days ago, I had a nightmare, and I think it's really important I talk about this nightmare. I've been wanting to talk about it, and it's something that took place, and I think it's important. Well, here it goes, the nightmare. I'm called to the White House to meet with President Donald Trump and his cabinet, and they're looking for somebody to make America great again. So they're interviewing people throughout America to see who's going to go out there and who can be the person or the team that can make America great again. And so I was privileged to be invited to the White House to talk with the president in front of the cabinet and everybody. And so I sat across the table from him, and we looked at each other eye to eye. And the president said to me, he said, "John Estrata, you're a good guy, I like you. You've done great work, but you're just average. We can't hire you. You're just average. We need to have people that are far above average. So I looked at him, I stood up, I shook his hand, and I thanked him, and I left. As I was walking out the hallway, out of the White House, I was shaking my head in dismay and saying to myself, I've never been average. How can anybody call me average? So that was my nightmare. It was a moment that tells me that I need to step up my game. I need to fight harder. I need to do my job a little bit better. I've been sort of doing what I have to do low key, but I think you're going to start seeing more of John Estrata, and you're going to see what we can get the job done to help make America great again. And maybe one day the president might say, you know what, John, we want you on our team because you are not average, you're above average. So thank you so much. So if you want to call in, my number again is 559-803-0555. My name is John Estrata, and this is Conservative America. We're talking about the issues of the day, political issues of the day. There's so much stuff going on. Deported veterans. We're talking about violence, hate, Democrats versus Republicans, liberals, progressives, socialists, all this stuff. Let's throw all labels out, folks. We're Americans. We have to start acting like an American. We have to protect America from domestic and foreign enemies. We got to keep America safe. That is our job, is to keep America safe. Once we keep America safe, then everything else can flow good. I mean, people can do whatever they have to do, but we have to keep America safe. So building a wall is a form of security, and it makes sense. We have drug cartels that come in and out at will. Mexico's a disaster. Violence is far worse than you can think about. And it's sad, such our neighbors, so close, having a total disaster take place because of drugs, money, power, all that stuff. And so I sure hope we get our act together, folks, to be Americans, because America needs, our future generations need that. And I'm not fighting today, not so much for John Estrata, but for my family, my America, my country, because I like to see my family grow up in a society like me. I think I had it the best of the best, but hopefully it gets better and America does become great again. It's a crazy, crazy world out there, and I see it every day. People out there hurting financially, they're hurting spiritually. They're hurting, and it's sort of like a two-class society. Either you have it or you don't. And those that don't, they look for reasons why they don't have it. And some people think it's a race. To me, I don't think it's race. I think it's economics. If the only time immigration really becomes a big issue is when the economy is bad. Hate between blacks and whites or whoever else there is out there, that's nonsense. It's economics. Everybody, if they had the opportunity, there was more jobs and more opportunity to make money and to have a good life. I don't think people would care about what color people are. I think they're using that as a scapegoat, as a diversion. I don't know what it's called, but it's something that I don't think makes too much sense. I find this idea of the Democrats not supporting the president. That's very selfish, and it's causing a lot of mistrust, and it's causing problems. And then to top that off, you have a Republican leadership that is stuck in the mud. They need to go out there and they need to lead. They need to go out there and make something happen. They were voted into office to do their job, with or without Democrats. They've got a small window of opportunity to get stuff done. In a short while, we're going to be going right into the 2018 elections, and that's going to put further strain on the process. So, Republican leadership, get your act together. You know what needs to be done. Let's get America back on track. It's been stagnated. It's been stopped. The diversions are out there. And so go out there and do your job for America, because you're voted to do that. And I guarantee you that when the election cycle comes and that job is not being done, there'll be a spotlight on you. And we're going to let America know that you are failing your job. And that spotlight needs to be put on you. If you're not doing your job, we don't need you. We need members of Congress that are going to get their job done for America. America first. That's the name of the game, folks. America first. That's what matters. So go out there and do your job. And for those that want to be in Congress, you see your member of Congress not doing a good job, I guarantee you something. Get ready, prepare, plan, start raising money. I will challenge them, because I tell you what, we're going to see a movement like you've never seen before. People are getting tired of America being second class, and just, we have so many talented people in America to get stuff done, and they're not being put to their proper and best opportunity. So let's go out there and let's work hard. You need to contact me anytime. Contact me. You can contact me here on the broadcast here, Radio Tribune broadcast. That's radiotribune.com. This is where this venue is being broadcast from. You can call me at 559-803-0555. Or you can send me an email, johnaestrada@gmail.com. And I'll be looking forward to hearing you about any issue. There's so much opportunity in America. We're just going to get our job done here for us and make it better for everybody. So the other issues that come to mind are the elections in Las Vegas. There were some really good elections that took place, and I'm happy to say that the voters send a message. They voted out some incumbents, and that's the bottom line. People are getting tired of things not getting done right, and so changes were made. People are tired of corruption. Corruption is not going to make it in America. One thing's been said many times, for many decades. You don't go into politics to make money. You go into business to make money. You go into politics to serve America. So, bottom line is that how does a person that starts off in politics ends up being a multimillionaire when they get out? That's not the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be there so people can volunteer or work at a position where it's public servant. It's not anything that's going to be about anything but helping America. And without that happening, without the necessary, I call it corruption. You don't go into politics to get rich. You go into business to get rich. So anyway, I have a very important guest coming on. His name is Chris Garcia. Chris Garcia has many business opportunities, and he's an entrepreneur. And he brought me even water. Well, welcome, Chris. Thank you so much.
So glad that John is back.
Except, you know what? It's amazing. I come in here and everybody's in cowboy hats. I said, where's my cowboy hat?
We didn't see the memo.
Yeah, nobody sent me the memo. I come in with a tuxedo.
You look good.
Thank you.
You look good, John.
Yeah, I went and got a haircut and got ready for the program and start the show on the road again, and hopefully it works good, which I think it will. I was really surprised. I shocked. Facebook sent me a notice. They said that I had 88,000 likes on my Facebook. That's, and I said, what? I haven't even started. How can I get only 88,000? How did I just, 88,000?
That's incredible.
That was surprising. So anyway, for all those people that have to see my Facebook post or Twitter post or Instagram post or whatever post, social media post you see from me, thank you for your friendship, and I look forward to sending more stuff out and getting the word out there. I'm really excited about working with you and your family.
Thank you, John.
God bless you and your family, and Cian, and then of course our good friend Rolando Flores. Hopefully, I called him the other day and told him I was going to take him to Oscar Goodman's restaurant to buy him something to eat, because I seen the article the other day where he had mentioned that at his funeral, he wasn't so sure there was going to be many people that were going to show up at his funeral. That his sister would have to pay to get the people over there. So I said, wow, how much is she willing to pay?
Right. The price is right.
Yeah. So anyway, but it's good stuff. And Rolando's a great man, and I've admired him for years and years and years. I subscribe to him. He's really probably the pioneer that started the idea of putting the spotlight on corruption.
Yes. I told him that the other day, and let's be honest, he's one of the first to even think of doing it like this, doing like a podcast type. I said, you were ahead of your time, you just didn't know it. Now, he might have not kept growing it, but the idea was, he was one of the first to start doing this.
Yes.
This is brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's a great man, and he always jokes about his accent and stuff like that. That stops him. But I guarantee you that doesn't stop him from doing nothing. Rolando's a warrior, and he gets the job done, and I'm really happy to be associated with him and you, and I think we're going to make great things happen in America.
That's right, John.
I feel we're making. It's amazing how much great connections we're making. Some powerful people from coast to coast.
That's right.
And so, and I think we're in the proper location. Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yes.
People come from all over the world to this location, and so I would like to invite any one of you, anybody that believes that they have a message they want to give or send out to America. Come on by the studio.
Yes.
And hey, we'll get you on. Not only will you be able to talk the talk, but you're going to walk the walk, and you're going to let people know what it's all about. And there's a lot of great ideas. We just got to start putting them into action.
That's right. Well, we're just, let me tell you something. We're just glad to have John back, man, at part of the Radio Tribune family. He took a little leave there, but we're so glad that you seem energized and ready to go. And let me tell you something, everybody. We got a powerful lineup happening here. We got another guy to start the show next week, and he is something else. So we got Gordon Martinez, we got Rolando LaRosse, we got myself, we got Lou Baker, we got John. It's the tuxedo. The tuxedo.
Hey, whoa. Hey, look at. Hey, I'm losing weight. I don't know if you noticed that, but I'm losing some weight. And wait till I lose a couple more pounds. You're going to see me I'm going to be very fashionable. And I might even have I went over here down on the strip, and they have this hat store. Fedora hats.
Oh, yeah.
And so for $170, you got these nice straw hats. One day I'm coming to you with a nice straw hat, really looking sharp. But anyway, no, I'm with you.
Yeah, we got a powerful lineup. We got John back, and so we're in good hands. This radio station, and I don't want to give away the show that's going to be starting next week, but we're going to have a powerful lineup here, and I want to get a news show going here. I want to get a sports show going. We got a couple of DJs interviewing this weekend that are going to do live music at night. So this station is it's growing. I'm telling you guys that want to advertise, get in now, because when I come to you a year from now, if somebody gives you a phone call from Radio Tribune, the rates will not be what they will be right now when you're starting up. You get grandfathered in right now, whatever you start for advertising that you pay on Radio Tribune, it's going to stay like that. So now is the time to get in, make a phone call to us, make a phone call to my wife, CN, and she will talk to you about the rates and bundling it with the Las Vegas Tribune.
And what's that number?
The number you can call her at 702-626-0716. That's 702-626-0716. And you can speak to CN, and she will tell you about the wonderful rates here for advertising on Radio Tribune and the Las Vegas Tribune newspaper. We're going to have a young lady named Angela that's going to be starting with us this weekend. And so she's just going to be hitting up all the businesses, and she probably will call you pretty soon to give you the advertising rates here. And I'm telling you right now, this is when you want to get in, because whoever gets in right now, we grandfather you in, and your prices will stay the same. We promise you that, because a year from now, the prices are going to go up because our popularity and our hits are going to go up on YouTube. So this is the time to get in right now. I'm telling you, this guy's going to have probably one of the most, if not the most popular shows on Radio Tribune. So if you want to advertise during the John Estrata hour, you're going to pay a year from now. So right now is when you want to get in and advertise during his show. So I'm just telling you, now is the time to get in on Radio Tribune.
That's very good. So there's a lot of stuff going on today in the news. Donald Trump's birthday, violence, shootings, congressmen. It just, one issue that I'm very dear with, and I know there's a lot of conservatives out there that don't like this idea of spending money, but security to me sometimes is important. Like building a wall, that's going to cost a lot of money to build that wall, but that's security.
Yes.
Now, this idea about Puerto Rico becoming the 51st state, and I'm totally for that, and that is because you don't want to have a crazy, chaotic enemy so close to America.
To become like
So folks, let's put it on the line. Yes, it's expensive, but so many administrations over the past have put it on for the future date to solve the problem, and now it's a total disaster. It's costing, it's going to cost a lot more money. Had they dealt with that 8 years ago or 20 years ago, the price tag would have been very small. So what do you think about that, bringing Puerto Rico in as a 51st state?
I think it's a good idea. I think their economic situation is a disaster right now.
But let me ask you this: don't you think it makes good sense right now to solve that problem with Donald Trump as president?
Yes.
And as a businessman, I think he can go in there and cut out the fat. He can go in there and make that state, the 51st state, be lean and mean.
Wow.
Right? And you know what? That would be good on his legacy too.
Yes.
You can't keep putting problems off for tomorrow. You know, like my favorite saying is the best moment is now.
That's right.
Let's do it now. Let's get that job done now.
Strategically, I mean, I think it would be a brilliant move because, you know, look what happened to a little island where my mom was from 90 miles off the coast of Florida. When they got in a desperate economic situation, they turned to the Russians. The Russians said, "Oh, so the same thing could happen in Puerto Rico."
It will happen. Not that it can. It will happen again. You know, history repeats itself time and time again.
Right.
And so there's a lot of conservatives out there hated my guts when I put that on. Oh, John Estrata, how dare you? How dare you want to advocate Puerto Rico as a 51st state?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I totally disagree with you. I mean, you don't know how many people took me on that. But you know what? As I put out the facts and the issues, security. If we're going to build a wall down in Mexico, I guarantee you, I don't want to have a dictator like North Korea being in control of Puerto Rico. And they say, well, they're going to become independent. No, I don't want them to be independent. I want them to be a 51st state. So guess what? They're going to be in line with us. They're going to be a state. They're going to be able to be working with us. And we don't. And yeah, right now you have two very liberal, most likely liberal U.S. senators. But I guarantee you, the people are smart, and they know that the Republicans are helping them out.
That's right.
They're going to become conservative.
That's right. That's right. And I think, like you said, economically, I mean, it's a beautiful island. I've been there. Puerto Rico is when you go into San Juan, it's absolutely magnificent. I think that, like you said, Donald Trump could go down there and turn that into a top. I mean, it already is a tourist attraction, but he could.
Hawaii?
Mercy.
Hawaii?
Yeah.
That could be the Hawaii on this other side.
Right.
That's where I see it. You're right. I've done the same. I've been to San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Yes.
With the right type of financial,
absolutely.
plan, I think they could be an awesome tourist site.
Yes. Yes.
So anyway, there you go. We got Puerto Rico out of the way. Tell me about the shooting. What do you think about that?
Wow. I started my show with that, and I just want to again send out thanks to the Alexandria Police Department and the Capitol Hill Police that responded within 3 minutes when the shooting began and shot the suspect and killed him. I forget his name, but he was 66 years old. He's from Illinois. And he had just moved to Alexandria, Virginia, and he was on Bernie Sanders. He volunteered last year when he was running for president, so he was kind of out there. He was a little bit of a radical. But this is what's happening in America, man. We're going so far to the left and so far to the right. You know, everybody's in an extreme position, and it's like you can't sit down and have civil disagreements and come to an understanding. I always tell people when I say Chris Garcia, the conservative American, conservative when I was coming up stood for common sense. Just have common sense. Like there's something down the middle. It doesn't have to be this way or this way. And what they're doing to Donald Trump just makes no sense. They're hurting America. Like this guy's trying to put people back to work and make us safe. When are those even arguments? Like, even if I was a Democrat, you see what's going on, and he's trying to make us safe. That's not that's not bipartisan. That's just common sense. Of course, we need to vet people coming into our country.
Well, in fact, that is the number one mission of the president and Congress is to keep America safe.
Yeah.
There's no greater mission for that's their job. Number one job. I mean, if we throw everything else as a secondary, third, or whatever way you want to do it,
right.
Keeping America safe is what you got to do.
I mean, but on that thought, I mean, I talked about it the other day on my show. George W. Bush, he left office actually with the lowest approval rating ever in history, but I think it was like 10 days after 9/11 when he gave that speech on the USS, I forget what ship it was, his approval rating went to 77%, the highest of any president sitting in office. That just goes to show you when he made that speech about the world's going to hear us, the people that did this are going to hear from us, that people want a president to keep us safe. When did it become being a nationalist and being racist when a president wants to keep us safe? That's how far we've sunk in just a decade. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And it really is.
And it's really, you can't get through to the other side. The other side is like blinded by propaganda. You know why though? Wow. Let me tell you why. It's the media. They hear it 24/7. They hear it 24/7. And the people
Yes.
and they're brainwashed. They're propaganda. That's what propaganda is all about. They got this in their mind because they're pounded 24/7 about this. All the major networks are
It's hard to
pounding.
watch TV, and it really.
So this is why this venue, this program, this broadcast network is so vital to give the real news, not the fake news, the real news.
That's right.
You know, a lot of people need to hear that, the facts, the truth.
John, what are you going to call your show? The people are listening.
Oh, Conservative America. Not yours is Conservative American. Mine's just I'm gonna take it up the last end. You know, it's okay. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Just.
And it's the Conservative America.
And that's right. So you
just
even
Conservative America.
I'm just saying Conservative America. Yeah. You're a little bit. You got more in there. I just shortened it up a little bit. That's okay.
That's great, though. That's great. We like you said, they need to listen to.
No, and let me
station like this.
Yeah, and let me tell you, I was going to use Conservative Roundtable, but something happened that I believe that in honor of that person, I'm not going to broadcast another show, another title, Conservative Roundtable. My host of the program out of California passed away. Marianne Collins King. She was the host of Conservative Roundtable. I was a co-host, but I was the executive producer. But the point is, she passed away of cancer, and we'll just let it go down and say, but thank you, Marianne, for being a great host, and God bless you and your soul, and let it be. And so, Conservative America is born.
That's right.
And we're gonna make this. We're gonna work hard at getting those issues out and helping America great again.
There's not a dress code here, everybody. So don't.
Fashion. Let me tell you what. We're in Las Vegas. We're in Las Vegas, Nevada, folks. Fashion is the order of the day. You don't want to come to Las Vegas looking like what?
That's right.
So when you come on my show, please be dressed appropriate. No dress code, but whatever that means to you. I have great respect and admiration for our military, and our veterans, and I will always fight for them, and from where the Department of Veterans Affairs has been and where they're coming, where they're at now, they've come a long way for the betterment of the veteran community. Unfortunately, there's still a lot more to go. We're still losing 22 veterans every day to suicide. And it's tragic. Veterans have not getting their benefits and services fast enough. There's not enough doctors. There's not enough professionals that are helping the veterans get their needs. And then let's face it, there's a lot of veterans out there that don't know that they're qualified for these benefits. And then you have deported veterans that are locked in foreign countries right now because they got deported for non-set reasons. So, there's just so much issues to deal with the military and veterans and stuff like that. We need to make sure that our military, going back to the actual military, is that we have a military that has the necessary resources to fight wars and win them. We cannot allow the United Nations or any global entity in the world dictate our way to fight a war. You have Korea, that's a mess, because you had the United Nations and other countries basically put political pressure on leaders and they folded. And so we can't allow people to fold up and not get the job done. You had two great generals, General Patton and General MacArthur. General MacArthur wanted to go over there and kick Russia's ass. No, I take that back. I think it's reversed. General MacArthur wanted to keep China's butt, and he was stopped.
That's right.
Okay. Had he done that, we could have whipped China, and look, we wouldn't have problems with the Chinese right now. Then General Patton, he wanted to go over there and beat Russia.
That's right.
And he was stopped for political reasons. Had we done both those things, what would happen? Where do you think America would be today?
That's right. That's right. Be a different world.
It would be incredible.
Yes, it would.
So, we can't let our politics get in the way of winning wars.
Yes.
We're going to go out there and we'll make America great again by making sure that people are safe in America.
Yeah.
Americans are safe overseas, because I think Americans get killed overseas whenever they go over. I know a lot of Americans are getting killed in Mexico, which is not cool. They have a lot of violence going on over there.
Yes.
The drug wars are going on over there, and it's all about the bucks. And they're trying to peddle their product, and people are dying.
Yeah. What's amazing, John, is it almost, to me, it seems like Donald Trump, and I was talking about this the other day on my show, I really believe he showed Barack Obama up when he won, and I think he immediately went to work. Those 2 months between when you win and Inauguration Day, most presidents take it easy. Most incoming presidents could take a little vacation before they take office, before Inauguration Day. I think not only did he start working that night, I think he started working before election night. I think he was putting his team together, and I believe that by him beginning to work while Barack Obama was still president, I think he showed Barack Obama up, and he showed all Barack Obama's friends and allies up, and I think that's why they're so mad. He put together General Flynn and Jeff Sessions. He put that team already, had them together, and had them talking to the Russians when Barack Obama was still in office.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're so upset. He's talked to those companies about keeping them here in America when they were trying to leave while Barack Obama, the last couple of months he was in office. Carrier and them were trying to leave before Trump took office. And I think that's why they're so mad, is because he went on national TV and said, we're saving 1,500 jobs here. We're saving 700 jobs here. And I think that Barack Obama and his friends felt like they were being showed up on national TV, because this guy is a workaholic. He is. I don't know. For that age, this guy is a workaholic.
Is he 70 or 71?
70 or 71, yeah. I think 71.
Well, it is pretty amazing. You're right. I'm 61, and 10 years from now, I don't know.
I know.
I have no idea what it is to be 71, but when I was 51, it was totally different. Trust me, when you get 61, it's a little bit more different. But no, that's true. But we got to keep our military, safe. And I think you're absolutely right about his preparation to be president. But see, what I think what really gives Donald Trump the advantage, though, he's been wanting to be president for decades.
Mm.
And he's quoted many decades ago, he wouldn't come in unless America really needed him.
Wow. Those are dollars. That's right. Well, we really need him.
Yeah.
We really, because it's a mess.
And so, we have such a weak Republican leadership right now. They're stuck in the mud. They don't, I put a post the other day. I said, they need to take a course in basic leadership and motivation.
I really believe, I know we don't have that much time, John, but that's what.
How much time, by the way, how much time do we have?
About
1 minute?
1 minute, really?
Oh my God! Okay.
We'll save it for
tomorrow.
We'll wrap it up.
Wow, it went so fast. I
Yeah,
can't believe it.
I know, it does.
Now it went by quick.
It does, because there's so much going
And
on.
we didn't have anybody call in today, but I'll start putting out more word and getting more prepared. And
But I'll let John wrap it up. I just want to say this to everybody out there listening. www.radiotribune.com. I told you, we're going to have such a lineup here. We have the one and only John Estrata, my friend. I was so sad when John had to take a leave of absence, but God, country, family comes first to him, and he had to take care of a few family things, and we're so glad that he's back right now. And, this guy is just so powerful, and he loves his country so much. Listen to his show. I'm going to try and come on as much as I can, because I love it. We're going to do a powerful show coming up soon. Me, John, and Blue Lake are going to all do a show together. That dude is something else too. He studies his facts, man. He's all about putting America first. So thank you so much, John. I appreciate it.
Chris, thank you so much for your time and your effort and your energy and your leadership. And Flag Day, thank you so much. Cian, thank you. And thank you for visiting with us in Conservative America. And we're going to see you tomorrow from 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you so much. God bless you. God bless America.